The surprising story of Europe's hijab-only beach. The opening of Europe's first hijab-only beach, and to be fair, the first that I'm aware of. To my knowledge, this is the first. The opening of Europe's first hijab-only beach in Montenegro has ignited controversy, raising concerns about religious segregation under the guise of inclusivity. The management of Pearl Beach in I have no idea how to pronounce the name of this town, Ulcinj, announced this exclusive beach for women who wear hijabs and burkinis with a tall privacy barrier. Quote, all visitors should adhere to the rules and customs prevailing in this area, the advertisement declares, emphasizing the imposition of Islamic modesty rules. This development follows rising violence and harassment against Muslim women at Montenegrin beach resorts, such as an incident where a Kuwaiti hijabi and her family were sprayed with alcohol from a hotel balcony, which is terrible. And a teenager in a burkini was barred from from a pool by a man claiming that he hates Muslims. Again, YouTube, we're reporting on the views of others. These are not our views. Well, proponents claim the hijab only beach promotes inclusivity and protects Muslim women from discrimination. Detractors see it as a step backwards, fostering a religious exclusivity rather than integration. The controversy reflects broader debates across Europe where burkini bans in France, Germany, and Italy have sparked intense discussions about secularism and religious freedom. Despite Montenegro's majority Orthodox Christian community, Ulcinj, with its 68% Muslim demographic, mirrors the tensions between the secular and religious communities throughout the continent. So, what was super funny was I first heard about this news in an opinion piece that was written by a female American Baptist minister who saw this as like the best thing in the world and was basically like, "Oh, well, we have nudist beaches exclusively for nudist people. Why won't we have one for hijabis? Blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, why do you think that it is a good idea that if women are experiencing harassment, religiously based harassment, that the solution is segregation? Because what people don't understand when they essentially take a pillared approach to multiculturalism is that this is a form of like acceptable segregationism under the guise of like, oh no, we need to let them do their own thing because that's what it is means to be accepting. Armin, you look like your brain is about to explode.
Okay, so can men go to these beaches?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? My headphones went out.
I said, can men go
Wait,
to these beaches?
my audio went out. Let me fix this. I'm sorry.
All right, guys, if you guys know about this in the chat, because I don't understand the point of this beach. If it's only for women, then why the hell wear the hijab? There are no men there. Let me actually see this article. Look, I mean, look at this opening. It seems like they have coverings around it as well, so nobody can see. You can see like there's a door and has a sign saying that you could go there only for with hijab, and then they have this thing around it so you can't see inside. Then why, like, the whole point of hijab, if there are no men there and nobody can see you, then what the hell is the point of wearing the hijab? Like, isn't this an opportunity to take it off? Like, you're on the freaking beach, there's the sun, there's the wind, there's water, and they give you an area where no men are allowed, so just take it off. What happened to Susie? No, there we go. Susie's back.
Sorry, that was super weird. Whatever you were
All right.
saying, I missed it, but I can hear you now.
Can men go to this beach? Men.
No.
Then what's the point of the hijab?
That's a good question. And also this beach is barricaded with tall separators so that you can't like see inside of it.
You can't see inside of it, right?
No, that's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody's saying maybe a man can see them from a boat. Um, no, maybe that's the reason. But hmm. Okay, here's a question: if it's why can't women that have no hijab enter? Like, what? How is that? Like, this doesn't even make sense. Islam. Let's say okay, so let's say fine. This is a woman-only beach for Muslim women who want to wear the hijab. Even if it's blocked from all sides, somebody might see them from far away with like a telescope or on a boat. Okay, let's give them their own beach, right? What is the utility if you're a Muslim woman that want to have your own area where men are not there and you want to keep your hijab on because God forbid somebody might see you without hijab, right? But what is the utility of not allowing women with their bikinis there? If men are not coming, shouldn't that be enough as a Muslim woman?
Ostensibly, my understanding is to protect them from harassment.
From women? From bikini wearing women?
I guess
Bikini
so.
women, the Muslim women complain is that men harass them. They don't, I haven't seen like, oh, other women in their bikinis are going to come harass you while wearing a hijab like, that's your concern?
It says in this context, it is a positive thing for Muslim women to have the choice to safely enjoy themselves in a private spot at the
But what's the
Ulcinj
threat?
hijabi beach. They can do
Okay,
so
so
without the fear
Arthur,
of hostile reactions, which they sometimes experience at regular beaches, and in keeping with their interpretation of Islamic precepts regarding modesty.
okay, if you say that this is a beach area for women to be able to come with hijab, okay, and put a hijab sign there, okay, then anyone with their bikini showing up there is probably not going to come and harass you because that's what they're going to expect. Like, if they were concerned, so if a woman in their bikini like is going to come and harass a hijabi woman, it's because usually they don't expect them to be there and they don't like it. Maybe they come harass her. But if you specifically go to a beach that has hijab signs all over it, and you say this is a beach that women come with their hijab, then I don't think you will get harassed by bikini wearing women. Also,
Mhm.
Arthur is saying, hold on, what was there? Oh, forgot, I lost it. Arthur is saying, well, because wearing hijab, bikini is immoral. Yes, wearing bikinis is immoral for Muslims, but being next to a woman with bikinis, that's not immoral.
It says
This doesn't make sense Islamically either. But yeah, go on.
Ulcinj already has a designated women only beach, but it is not suitable for hijabis as other beach users can observe the area from outside, which would violate Islamic codes of modesty. Um,
Wait, that doesn't make sense. Listen to what you just said. Who cares that it could be seen? You're wearing your hijab. Like, if you like, oh no, this is a woman only beach. People might look, okay, but you're wearing your hijab. So why people could look at you when you're in the store as well? Like, why would that, if you already have women only beaches, that should be enough. Because if you're gonna wear your hijab on this hijab only beach, then you could also keep wearing your hijab in the women's only beach. And if people are gonna look at you, the only concern you should be have is if people are watching you if you go to a beach where you're wearing a bikini. But if you're wearing a hijab, that shouldn't be a concern for you. This makes no sense. This is just the point I'm trying to get at is this is just claiming territory with excuses that are not even Islamic. This is
well, to
just
be fair,
this is
a
just
lot of
signaling that you were taking over more of your area. That's what this is. But go on.
I think a lot of these excuses and that were in this coverage are coming from the fact that the author is a female Baptist minister from America. And so a lot of the inconsistencies, I'm like, or why this doesn't make sense Islamically, I'm like, I think it might have to do with the misunderstandings of the author. Because she goes on to say, it does not constitute unfair privileging of one particular group, but rather addresses a group's particular needs. After all, there are thousands of nudist beaches that can cater to the needs and lifestyle of that community. There are even dog beaches that cater to animal needs. Why should a group that is constantly discriminated against not have its own beach section or designated pool hours? Bans and harassment of burkini wearing Muslim women prevent them from enjoying the
Stop.
beneficial exercise and leisure time of the outdoors. So that's her understanding.
This is not even their need, though. Islamically, this is not even their need. This is just taking advantage of Western misunderstanding of their lack of understanding of whatever Islam teaches. Just like this is just a claiming of territory. This hijab signs is just showing that we're here and we are more influential than before. This is just a signal to the society that yeah, the society is catering to our needs, even if this is not our needs. Like if you already have women only beaches and you were planning to wear the hijab, this has Islamically, this serves no purpose. Even in the batshit crazy barbaric insane Islamic ideology, this serves no purpose other than a political statement and a signal to society that we're more influential than before, that we could ask things and we will just get them. That's what this is doing.
It's so and I just cannot get over the sense that there are well-meaning, ostensibly, nominally liberal people who think that this is the answer to a group experiencing harassment is to segregate them. It's so backwards, and they don't even realize how backwards it is because they think that making special accommodations for a certain group is the inclusion. But no, you're fostering segregation and actually saying, "No, you cannot be in the rest of a society. You have to go do your own thing." It's so weird to me. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah.
If you're a Muslim woman, tell me if you were going to the beach, like please bring a Muslim woman and explain to me this, okay? If you were planning to go to the beach, okay, and you were planning to continue wearing your hijab while you're on the beach, first of all, that's insane. Like your vitamin D, like your skin, and needs the sun. Like imagine the rest of the world enjoying the feeling of the wind in their hair and the sun on their skin. Look at what Islam is doing to you. Okay, but anyways, you do you. Okay, you're going to the beach and you're planning to keep wearing the hijab, and even though you want to wear the hijab, you want to be in an area that there are no men. Okay, if we have women only beaches that both bikini wearing people and hijabi wearing people could go, okay, then you have that already. So what does this beach do for you? Can you explain to me what does this beach do? You already have that, because you
It's
could, on the
it's
women
so
only beaches you
confusing.
could continue to wear your hijab. So what is it? What is the added utility here? It is zero added utility. Anyways.
Um, oh, I had
But yeah,
another
but
thought that just left my mind.
Tanky was. By the way, this Tanky is not actually a Tanky. Is okay.
Yeah.
He's actually has a very good. This Tanky guy with the communist symbol here actually has a lot of good liberal takes, really good liberal takes in the chat. Okay, that's just a joke. But by the way, consider changing your, because a lot of people are going to think we're a communist channel because we keep highlighting you. But Tanky is saying inclusivity by exclusivity. Yeah, that's what's happening. They're excluding people and they're
As
calling it inclusive. Yeah, go on.
as a side note, this is a whole different topic, but I think it's worth being said that I think many of the bans against burkinis in Europe are freaking stupid. I just want to be on the record saying that. I think banning the burkini is freaking stupid, and there's policies about
Wait,
this all across Europe.
I don't know. I kind of see it as a signal to society that this is as a reaction of society saying that this is not our identity. We don't want this shit here. So
That
I
doesn't
can
mean that
see
it's a
the
good
point
idea,
behind.
though. And also because
Yeah.
there are lots of women that from different religions who want to wear that kind of swimwear because it follows their modesty rules.
Yeah.
And then also, like, there are a lot of people with skin conditions or want to avoid
So,
sun exposure that want to wear that kind of swimsuit. It's like, who cares? Who cares? Like,
Okay,
there was
well,
literally
I
no,
agree,
let me get my I just
but
wanna finish my thought.
yeah.
There was I if correct me if I'm wrong, maybe D will remember when we covered this story, but we covered a story where there was a motion in a French town to change the rules so that women would be allowed to go topless in, like, the pool or the beaches or something. And because the way that the rules would have been changed to allow women to wear what they want so that they can go topless, people nuked the entire movement to let women go topless on the beach because it would have allowed women to wear the burkini if they should so choose. So they were willing to nuke personal freedom just because they hated this way that people go in the water so much. I'm like, that's stupid. Like,
Okay, so it's stupid, but I also, and it's also not. Okay, so I do. I do not agree with banning people's liberty to wear what they want at the beach. Okay, so I agree with you on that. The thing is, though, you should expect the society to react in sometimes strange and maybe irrational ways to such an extreme and fast change of demographics and ideology and the values of their society, right? So even though I don't agree with the ban, right, I do not go around and try to blame the people who are trying to introduce the ban. You should expect such weird reactions from a society that is being injected with such rapid uh, pace of ideological injection of something that is completely foreign to that land, right? But it's basically an allergic reaction to something foreign in such a way that it's having a hard time coming up with a proper response to it because it just doesn't have the flexibility to respond to it properly. So I do not, even though I agree with you, I do disagree with the ban. I put the blame on the people who are supporting such a high level of mass migration. The source of the problem comes from the other side. Does that make sense?
well, I can tell you're going back to some Hegelian thought, which we were talking about before the
don't
stream.
don't
Um,
discuss the private discussions I have with you off air.
hey, there's no problem with just referencing Hegel.
No. I tell you why. I tell you why. I'll tell you why. But don't, like, our private discussions should remain private. But go on.
No, okay, of course. Um,
Yeah.
no, and let me be clear. Me disagreeing with this ban and thinking that it is like a double standard and not consistent and not good law does not mean that I don't understand where this is coming from. I'm just giving my opinion on its merits.
Right. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. No, I agree with you that I just want to make sure also that we do call out something that is irrational. And I completely agree with you. It's completely in line with my thoughts. I just want to also make sure that I acknowledge the source of the problem. Like, for example, in Iran right now, as you know, there's a lot of negative reactions to Afghans being in Iran, and sometimes that shows itself in very ugly ways towards
Oh yeah.
Afghan inside Iran, right? However, I don't. I even though I do condemn all the misbehaviors, all the mistreatments of many Afghans inside of Iran. I do not focus on that condemnation. I put the blame on the Islamic Republic of Iran because the Islamic Republic of Iran is using mass migration from Afghanistan to Iran as a policy for many of its problems. And again, I'm not trying to do an appeal to nature fallacy. I'm not saying it's correct, but it is natural that when society responds to mass migration, to uncontrolled mass migration in such a way, I'm not saying it's correct, but it is natural. So it is to be expected. I'm explaining it. I'm not excusing it, but I'm explaining it that this is what you could expect from society when you just have uncontrolled, unfiltered mass migration from any country to another. You're
We
muted.
we
Yeah.
understand each other.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. We have two super chats.
um Super chat by Erkin saying, Armin, certain Muslim women don't take off the hijab even when there's no men around. Sure.
Yeah, that doesn't negate anything I said. I understand that you could want use, and many women would want to continue to wear. First of all, that doesn't make sense, right? I understand certain Muslim women do that. It makes no sense, right? The purpose of a job. But even if you want to continue to wear the hijab on a beach, if you have women only beaches, then this beach where serves no purpose, even for those women. But I know, yes, you're right.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.